god, did you see his numbers again? Yeah, he's been at the bottom for like a month.
Come on, you scrubs! 2 arms!
Lex might be a little too far from the mic. Maybe get a little closer.
It's touching my face.
Not another spider!
I was not protected. Oh, yeah, that's one with fall damage.
I was standing in the pool because I thought we had the soak in.
Ooh, fell asleep at my desk, and I drowned in the stormwind canal.
No, Jim, I don't want to hear about your chaos bolt.
What, you want me to dispel? I don't even have that on my action bars.
Stop standing in the fire.
What fire?
Alright, pre-pot, and tricks to the trade. Oh, that was the healer.
What just killed me there? Yep, physical damage. So bad at playing a demon hunter.
Oh my god, we did it.
You're listening to Scrubs vs. the World with your hosts, Cy and Projali. And welcome into the show, everyone. Tonight, Projali and I are going to have a conversation about the new 9.1 patch that is on the horizon. And we're just going to dive into it, talk about our favorite things, talk about things that maybe we're not so sure of or maybe want, but we're going to hit it anyway. But before we do that, let us introduce the co-host with the most, Mr. Projali. How you doing, bud?
Doing just fabulous. How are you doing?
I'm doing okay.
Yeah.
It was an okay day, yeah.
Okay.
It was a rough one at work.
Yeah.
I almost had to send some internet backhands. But,
oh, no.
That's okay. It happens. You know how it goes.
I do. But you're after work hours now, and we're here to talk.
About important stuff. That's right.
Clear what matters.
Exactly.
Yes.
So, what has... Well, first of all, let me stop and ask, how's your day? Because you asked me how mine was.
Yeah. My day was pretty good. There was a lot of meetings, and that usually makes work fly by.
Yep.
And then you get to the end of the day, and you're like, wow, I still got a lot to do. But
yeah, the meetings pile up, and then the work doesn't stop piling up.
Exactly. So those emails, my favorite today was an email in the middle of a meeting asking if I could join another meeting because they had questions for me. And in my place of work, our calendars are open to all of other coworkers in IT. And it's just look at the calendar. You can see I'm in a meeting till 4. No,
Clearly...
I cannot join your meeting. I'm sorry. Please try again later.
Oh, jeez.
But
that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, mine, I'm not going to go into mine. There's too many details. It'll take too long.
Too many details, too many backhands.
Yeah. Basically, long story short, it was an ask that was going to create more work for me that was unnecessary, and we'll just leave it at that.
That's always fun.
Oh, yeah. Gotta love those. But yeah, so what have you been up to in the WoWs lately? I know it's been 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
What has been your shining achievement in these last few weeks since we've been away?
We are still just doing re-clears. I am still without any Sire Denathrius gear on Mythic. While all my guildies and my GM and everybody else gets to enjoy nice 233 weapons and trinkets and everything, I'm just sitting here looking like a schlub. But
well, I mean, it happens.
It does. The vault giving you more options is almost worse in a way, because there's just more letdown when you open it, and you've got like 5 or 6 options, and you want none of them. But you still have upgrades out there. It's like, what is this madness?
You would think that at some point we would just get a system that looks for what you have, and it's like, if less than this, make this the top priority instead of just RNGing the crap out of everything.
Yeah. Well, it gave me two Stone Legion cloaks in back-to-back weeks. So the first week I was like, all right, that's cool. Then the next week I was like, oh, now you're just screwing with me. Okay.
Well, it's like in BFA. It was the shoe locker or whatever.
Yeah. Just how many boots can you collect in your bag each season?
Right. And knowing me, like, I kept a lot of them. So like most of my bank was filled up with those boots because I was hoping to get like corruption pieces. And then I'd get a pair that didn't have anything on it, and I'm like, oh, maybe I'll save it and put corruption on it.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, I'm not going to do that.
No.
Why? Why would I do that?
Well, and 8.3 was all about the cloak, right? And so you had the legendary cloak to remove the corruption. But I think early in the patch, it was either the box, the weekly box, or Mythic Plus. You could still get cloak drops. And so...
Yep.
People are like, what the hell, man? I've got a legendary cloak, and you're giving me cloaks.
I mean, I appreciate the effort. Like, I don't want to sit here and just complain about everything, right?
Just a little bit, not a lot. But
Just a little bit.
yeah.
I mean, if we didn't care as much, we wouldn't complain as much, right? Is that how that works?
This is true. Yeah, it shows we care.
Is
it
that
is
what
great.
the internet does too? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Twitter is just, you stay away from Twitter. Just pure rage at all times.
Oh, jeez. Wow, YouTube's getting that way too.
Yeah.
A lot of our favorite content creators are just being so positive and really hopeful for the future.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. How about you? What's your WoW experience lately been?
Well, since we cleared the heroic level, got AOTC, so I missed the following week. I took that week off. I think I had something going on at home. And then, so last week we did the first 3 just to get our vault filled with something. And then we did, went back into normal and started doing the achievement run.
Okay.
So we're trying to get the glory of Nathria. And the first 2 achievements are really shitty, literally. Like, you have to, so in Screechwing, there's pieces of poop that are in the, like, not the corners, but like against the walls. And you have to drop the targeted blood pool on the poop and then kill the ad that's in there. Now, the ad, you just breathe on it and it's dead. So that's good. It's not like you need to peel half your DPS off to go kill it or anything like that.
Go kill this guano mob.
Yeah. But it's just funny because you just see, I never noticed it until they're like, oh yeah, we're going to go hunt for poop on the walls. And so I think there's like 6 of them total, something like that, 6 or 8. But it basically split the room in half, and there you go. And then the second one, on the Huntsman, you have to walk the dogs around the room until they drop a deuce.
Okay.
And once all the dogs do their thing, then you kill them. And you get the achievement.
Some crappy achievements.
Yeah. I thought that was pretty funny. But I was like, really? 2 in a row? So I was like, okay, are they going to go all in and make all of them poop related? Because that would have been good.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think that would have been pretty funny. But the monstrosity didn't have that. You just have to use his beam to break there's some anima canisters on the wall.
Okay, yeah.
But the one for Nerva, Dark Vein, I think that's her name, was super cool. Because if you have the Son of Animus pet, you pull that out and you turn it into a Papa of Animus.
Oh.
So, like, you have to then kill that thing. So back in Mop, if you played in Mop and did Throne of Thunder, the Dark Animus boss, you summon one of those guys, basically.
Right.
So only one of your raid members has to drop one. But he has all those mechanics of the Dark Animus, so he actually killed us. Because everyone forgot. Because somebody got the bubbles around him, and they're like, what do I do?
Oh, no.
Yeah. So that was pretty funny. But that was really cool, actually. And then Zymox, you have... So, like, there's going to be an orb that forms. So there's orbs outside of the raid before you even... Or the boss room. Before you get in there. I think 3 people just have to go click one of the orbs. And there's like 3 or 4 of them. And they're just outside of his room. So, like right as you go... Instead of going down the stairs, it's like up on that little raised piece. So everyone clicks one of those. Not everyone, but like 1 or 2 people go and click those.
Yeah.
And then once the fight starts, an orb summons in the middle. And depending on the color of the orb, I think there's Night Fae, Maldraxxus, Bastion, and then the Maw have a color. And so you take the portals and you drop a portal on your person who gets the orb. That person's going to get stunned. And then the other person who gets the portal has to drop it in front of whatever faction is going to be that shows up with the orb color.
Okay.
And so basically that person catches the orb, gets stunned, and then the other person teleports them to the proper place so then they can click a banner or some crap, and then
Oh, okay.
yeah, and then it activates them. So then you do all those and then kill them and you win. So that was the first 5.
That's pretty cool.
And then so this next week, which will be this last Wednesday as of the releasing of this show, we're going to finish that up, hopefully. So that was a quick rundown of that.
Nice.
Long story short. But yeah, it was pretty fun. It's good times. So we'll do that, and then we'll probably keep clearing Heroic until it's time to go do the new stuff.
New stuff.
Yeah, so speaking of new stuff, the 9.1's Hopes and Dreams episode you've all been waiting for. And we'll probably have like 3 or 4 more shows between now and when it actually comes out.
Yes.
But we wanted to talk about it a little bit because that's what we got.
That is wow.
That's kind of what it is going on right now.
Sitting, waiting, wishing.
Yeah. Now, I want to start this piece off, this segment off with, I understand what Blizzard's going through. Now, I am fully prepared for you clowns out there to send me the "you're a homer" tweet and "you're a shill" and blah, blah, blah. Sure, whatever. I'm a shill.
Well, I've been meaning to ask you, did you get your check from Bobby yet today?
I did, yeah.
Okay, all right.
He signed it personally to me.
Perfect.
He
Shill.
said, "Thank you so much for shilling for me personally."
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate it. So
Nice. Nice. Okay, yep.
Yeah. No, and I kind of wanted to bring that up because Ian Hazzakostas sat down with Preach from Preach Gaming fame, and they had an interview, and it was great. Like, I think that Ian had some really good information to give, and I think Preach did a pretty good job overall.
Yeah.
My only thing with him, and I love Preach. Like, I don't want to sit here and talk shit about Preach because he's great.
Right.
But the one critique I have of what he's been doing kind of lately, like he brought this up to Ian, is he was talking about how Korthia, the new zone that's coming out in 9.1, didn't have much to it on the PTR.
Sure.
And it's like, Preach, bro. It's the damn PTR, dude. Like, they're still rolling it out. They've said as much. You know there's not everything there.
Mm-hmm.
Why are you making it sound like, oh, Blizz is falling down on the job?
Right.
When they're working from home. Like Ian said himself during the interview that this is the first expansion they've ever done where everybody works at home 100% of the time.
Right.
So, I mean, yes, I get it. And yes, we want to keep the timelines where you want it. I think what everyone needs to remember is, like, these are all people, too, trying to do something. So, like, my job's been moved to 100% at home. Now, I've been pretty fortunate to have that.
Yes.
And there are times when I am not as productive because I have, you know, my dogs are pooping everywhere, like the Huntsman dogs, or, you know, my kids need something because my kiddos are in school and they're full-time, or actually, no, they're hybrid now, but they do a lot of at-home schooling. So I have to stop through my day to go help my kiddos. And every time I turn around, it's, you know, I get 20 minutes here to work. I get an hour and a half there. And then next thing I know, it's 4 o'clock, and it's like, wow, I didn't do anything today, really productive. So now I need to spend more time in the evening times, where I should be playing WoW, catching up on my work because I've had all these distractions from around the house. So take that and apply that to everyone else that's working at home that has children and who's trying to do the best they can, and dealing with the giant burden of not leaving your house and not knowing, like, what's going to happen when I do leave my house, you know?
Yeah.
There's a lot of shit going on right now, and I think we just need to as a community, just take a breath.
Yes.
Just take a breath and give each other some slack. Because they're doing their best. They're working their asses off, trying to do their best, and trying to give us something to entertain us during this time. And, you know, they're doing what they can.
Yeah.
That's kind of where it went. That was a pretty good rant. But
No.
But
I think it's good.
yeah, and I think that's coming from a place of, you know, I watched that interview. Now I watched it through Asmongold's stream, or not a stream, but like a YouTube video.
Yeah.
And he's sitting there talking about how shitty it is and blah blah blah.
Right.
And we all know the Asmongold and how he can be. And you know, a lot of the things he says, I actually agree with. But there's some things like this scenario where Ian was talking about things and he was just jumping on it, saying how crappy it is. And it's like, you're not
knee-jerk reaction.
Yeah, it's knee-jerk reaction, and it just fuels the fire. That narrative that's been going on for 17 years that WoW's dying.
Yeah. It's the longest death ever.
Yeah. It's like the dragon death in Rick and Morty, where the dragon's getting hung, and they're like, oh yeah, Balthermond's going to take like 84 years to die, finally, because dragons don't just hang.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. No, it is. It's exactly what you're saying. Well, and okay, and at the beginning of that interview, Ian was the first to admit, hey, yeah, ideally we're not releasing patches with this long a time frame. Ideally, we would be telling you guys, hey, this is dropping in 2 weeks. You know, in the next coming weeks, you're going to see this patch, and it's just like you're saying, working from home creates new sticking points for workflows and all that, and they're being honest and pretty open with us, and like, hey, here's how we're delayed. We're eventually gonna get there. I liked a tweet earlier today from Trell. He's a monk player, and he's on the Titanforge podcast. But Trell had a good tweet saying, since he's just been raid logging basically for a few months, he's gotten back to actually going outside a lot. Highly recommend taking long breaks from the gamer grind. So, it's people act like WoW has to be the only thing that they're doing with their time, and I think COVID and all of this, everybody being home, has put like a spotlight on. Oh man, they're taking a month or two longer than usual. Let's jump on them,
Right.
instead of saying, oh, maybe I'll just tone back some of my playtime. Wait for this content to come out and make sure it's good and ready, because they're taking their time to make sure it's good and ready, and
Right.
enjoy it when it's released.
Yeah. Well, there was a time when soon TM meant they were putting the Blizzard polish on, and you know, there was some times when people felt like they rushed patches. Now I get it, like, yes, the time frame's a little longer, but like we said, there's extenuating circumstances here. It's not just you know, hey, you know, Steve forgot to carry the 2 on the paladin balance charts now, so we're screwed. Delay the whole thing, you know. It's nothing like that. It's a legit thing that, you know, people are trying to deal with, and I get, like, yeah, it's taken forever and blah blah blah, and you know, I've heard some arguments that other games aren't doing this, and it's like, well, okay, like, if you are so upset about it, like you said, go outside. Go do something else. Like, instead of bitching on the internet about stuff, like, just focus on the positive for once. Like, I don't know. I know this is kind of like, we try to keep our show upbeat and lighthearted and everything.
Yeah.
But I think even folks like us just hit a wall of this negativity and this just shit that we see constantly on our feeds, and it's like, guys, I get it. Like, everyone's hurting right now, but let's be constructive at least. So, I don't know. I saw a meme somebody posted in my guild Discord.
Yeah.
And it was a picture of WoW, and they had the little timeline on the side. So it had like the top like maybe 3/8 of it was blocked off and it said greatest expansion ever, and then the rest of it was don't have enough content. And it's like, that's so true. Like, people burn themselves out in PTR and on beta and all this other stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that, oh, well, I've just consumed this content. Like, you've been playing beta for 2 months.
Uh-huh.
Of course you're going to hate the game as soon as you can. Like, as soon as you finish what you're set out to do, because you've done it twice. So, I don't know. I just had to get that off my chest, because I just need everyone to calm the fuck down.
Right.
And just enjoy yourselves. Go play a different game. Go outside. Or look for the positive instead of dwelling on the negatives, because somebody you enjoy on YouTube is dwelling on a negative.
Yeah. Level a different alt with a different covenant.
Right?
Do some other stuff.
Play a Horde tune or an Alliance tune if you're Horde or Alliance only.
I mean, don't play Alliance, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
Oh, jeez. You should totally play Alliance. Speaking of that, I actually got my Horde Shaman up to 60. So,
Hell yeah.
Hopefully, I can do some Mythic Plus. I gotta learn the Mythic Pluses. Learn the ways that is Mythic Plus. So hopefully you'll help me out with that.
I'm on it. We're gonna teach you the ways. We're gonna get you to KSM hopefully by the end of the season.
I mean, we got some time, so I think we'll be good.
This is actually
we'll
a pretty good. Well, it's a decent push week. It's a fortified week, and it's pretty ranged friendly. So
that's good.
Might be able to get you into a couple.
Hell yeah. Well, with that dark, depressing piece out of the way,
womp womp.
I think overall, though, I think Preach did a great job with Ian. I think Ian was pretty truthful with us. I know in the past, like, he's gone down the corporate taglines and all that other stuff, but I feel like he was pretty upfront. I think he knows people are chomping at the bit here.
Right. Yeah, I know. There were some good questions. He was pretty honest about raid comp and design elements of cooldowns and what they kind of envisioned for raids and raid compositions, which I really, as a raider, I really appreciated that kind of feedback where, we're looking at certain cooldowns being like, why is this the way it is? He's like, yeah, it's probably not supposed to be that strong. AMZ might be too good.
Right.
Yeah. So, and it was even funny that they were kind of memeing at the Twitch and YouTubers who have been calling out DKs of being really godly classes right now as the reason why they're going to nerf them. So that should be fun YouTube content in the weeks to come.
That should be.
Everybody's jumping on Limit Max.
I know Preach was like, I'm sorry, DKs, I'm sorry. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah, that was really funny.
That was awesome. But yeah, no, I think overall, like, I like how he talked about the because the question came up with healer damage and how right now some of the healers are cheeseballing it, so it's almost like they have an extra DPS.
Oh, absolutely.
And Ian said this straight up, like, if you can weave in damage as a healer, like, that just shows how good you are at the game. And he brought up another great point too. And he talked about did I get that wrong?
No, I don't think you got it wrong. It's but yeah, I think there's more to the healer DPS aspect than just being good. Right.
Well, he was kind of mentioning it, but he was kind of bringing it back to, like, how the community is growing as far as knowledge level goes.
Sure.
So, like, our player base is becoming smarter.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are figuring this stuff out quicker. But yeah, I thought it was super interesting. I like the direction they're heading. I think some of it's pretty cool. But I mean, yeah, I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
We'll get more raid testing going. See what the class balance ends up.
Yeah. Hopefully you don't have to re-roll, huh?
Yeah. Well, I'm probably not... if the changes go live as is, I'll be a little upset, but I won't quit Boomkin. That's fine.
That's good.
That's fine.
Well, I mean...
We're okay. It's fine.
Yeah.
Right? Right?
I guess we'll see. We'll see what Wowhead has to say about it.
Yeah. Oh, my God. You go to Wowhead for that graph to tell you what to play. I'm going to tell you right now. You're doing it wrong. Overall,
if you
tells
think I was
jack
spicy,
squat.
folks. Yeah. You think I was spicy. Here we go. Buckle up.
Let me tell you a thing or two about graphs.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let's dive into some of the stuff that we're getting here. Flying is going to be a thing.
Yay!
Very excited about that.
And I think they were saying it was hidden behind completing your 9.1 Covenant campaign stuff. So they're going to add more to the Covenant campaigns. But once you complete that, it's not a rep grind. It's a Covenant campaign thing.
Sure. Just a quest chain, basically.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. I'll take that.
Right. You don't have
and
to do
with
the path achievement.
Yeah. Which, I mean... I hated those. Let's not pretend for a second. I can't defend that.
Yeah.
Those rep grinds were brutal back in BFA.
Uh-huh.
It's just like I didn't enjoy Mechagon like everybody else did.
Okay.
I'm more of a Nashitar person, but
Okay.
Mechagon to me was the most painful rep grind in current WoW that I've ever done.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I wanted to never go back to that island ever again after I was done with that. And nothing against Mechagon like itself.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the dungeon was super cool. I loved. I liked the story that was there.
Yeah.
I just didn't like the aesthetic, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know. Something about... I mean, we're Northwest boys, so we like our green stuff, and whenever the green stuff gets tainted with oil and all that crap, it kind of rubs us a little wrong, so... I didn't appreciate the oil spillage. That was kind of my only thing, because like some of the water areas were kind of nasty.
Yeah.
And of course the junkyards and everything. No, but like, it makes sense.
Right.
Like the idea makes sense and everything, but I don't know. I like my trees.
Yeah. So what you're telling me is you're not going Mechanome Shaman.
No, that is not happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
A kiddo might, but I will not do that.
No RoboCop Shaman.
Nope. I can't do it.
Okay.
Sorry, Gnome fans. So it looks like I don't want to get into any story spoilers.
No.
So we're not going to touch that. Soulbinds. Soulbinds are going to be expanded.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be awesome. And they have some conduit changes coming down the tube.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, what are some of the things you're excited about in that one?
Well, they better add more conduit energy. That's all I gotta say. Swapping conduits is a nightmare if you play more than one spec right now and you play different content. But we won't get into that contentious argument because I think everybody who plays the game now is aware
right
of people's opinions on conduit energy. But I think it'll be cool. I think some classes have better conduits than others. So, for instance, Balanced Druid's probably not going to get too much out of it. But I'm curious to see what the specific or like the Soulbind specific nodes that you get are going to be. So like Naya and whatever they're going to give you at the end of the tree. So it could change which one you go based on the fights. So
yeah,
I don't know.
It could be interesting because I am a Night Fae.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so like
And I like Dreamweaver because he has his pod.
yeah, I noticed a lot of people run Dreamweaver in BGs and stuff, and just hoping you don't notice that they're in their pod and they just come back to life.
Yeah, so it looks like here, so like an example of another tier that we're getting.
Right.
So on Dreamweaver, he's got Cunning Dreams, where entering soul shape slows enemies near your starting point by 50%, so that's a good PvP one. Dream Delver. Dealing damage or healing a target grants you 1% increased damage or healing to that target for 4 seconds, up to 3%. And then Waking Dreams. When you take damage below 80% health, you gain a shield for 30% damage, lasting for 3 seconds. You know, that's just kind of an idea of what they're thinking about going with.
Right.
I myself, I think shields suck, if I'm being honest. I don't like them.
Really?
Yeah. To me, they're not interesting, I guess.
Okay.
And that's just a me thing. And I think it's because they hurt my healing numbers.
That's probably it. That's probably why you don't run with a disc priest. I think it's a conspiracy, right?
Yeah, we politicked the disc priest out of the guild, so...
Yeah.
I need that throughput, baby!
Right. So... yeah.
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, yeah, so I totally forgot that they've already shown the kind of initial releases of each tree's new end nodes, so it looks like Boomkin's gonna stay Naya, I think. Just because that Bonded Hearts one is looking real nice. If we gain a stack of that redirected anima ability, it'll heal nearby allies, and if any of those allies are a different covenant, then the mastery gain we get, and our max health effects. So that mastery being boosted by 50% for 5 seconds. We get that during our convoke and our CA. It's
baby.
It's big damage. That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
So,
maybe that Wellhead Charter will be correct when this is over.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, we'll still be fine single target. Everything's okay, folks. It's okay.
Everything's fine. Yeah.
It's okay.
But I mean, that's just something that I don't want to sit here and bore everybody with reading all of these things, but it's just kind of like an idea of, they're kind of it looks like they're adding a couple of the options from other trees, from other covenants to, that's kind of what it feels like.
Spice it up a little bit. Keep the system developing.
Yeah, I think that's great. Like, I love the covenant, or the conduit system myself. Like, I think it's super fun. Like, you get to earn your spells. It kind of feels like that old school talent tree. But like you're saying, the anima power balls, or whatever they're called.
The conduit power, yeah.
The conduit power balls.
Balls.
We need some more of those.
Yeah.
I agree. I know, like, during that video I was watching, Asmongold was losing his mind about that. And, like, and here's the thing. Like, I can understand the game system itself and what they're trying to achieve with it. Like, everything costs something, right? So in this universe, to do this thing, it costs you something. But the fact that it regens is kind of weird. Like, if you think about it, it's like a regenerating... It's like a newt tail or something. You just keep cutting off newt tails and... I don't know. Yeah, I can see the argument against it, too. Especially if you're playing that swing player and you have to flip from heals to DPS or DPS to tank or whatever. So, yeah, I totally get it.
Yeah, they wanted to... It sounded like, from what Ian was saying, that they wanted to create a system that discouraged constantly swapping.
Right.
But that is in the face of human behavior, where a lot of the times we want to try stuff out. So we're both curious monkeys,
Yeah.
Poking at stuff and want to figure it out. But I can't poke as much as I want to.
Yeah.
I can't be like, oh, in this dungeon, I'm going to swap these two. Oh, but wait, I already swapped 2 earlier this week, and they haven't regened yet. So now I can't have fun.
Stuck.
Thanks, Ian.
No fun for you.
I quit. So.
Oh, geez. Yeah, I don't know. I think I see what he's going for, but he should know by now the WoW players, we don't like being fit into a box, right? Now, I know some people do, because they get their min-max calculators out, and they figure it out, but that's part of the figuring out process, is poking all these buttons and seeing what happens.
Well, that's the interesting thing with this, and we can move on to a different. I don't want to bore people with all the number crunching, but this unique system where sometimes you'll find the casual and the hardcore aspects of this game will have a difference on a fundamental mechanic of a game. You know, so one's not coming to mind, so this is a terrible segue. But the idea is, with conduit energy, you're punishing players who want to experiment with stuff and just have fun with it. Oh, I want to try all 3 of my soul binds and I want to swap around different conduits. I'm not going to a guide to figure this out. I'm just having fun with what looks cool and plugging and playing, but I'm going to run out of that pretty quick. Whereas the number crunchers have figured out, oh, I've got a different one for Mythic Plus. I've got a different one for this specific dungeon. I've got a different one when I need to heal my alt runs. Like, they've got 4 or 5 different layouts that they need to run number crunch, and they can't do it either. So it's like the situation where casual players who want to swap around and play with it can't, and the hardcore people who want to min-max everything can't either.
Right.
So maybe that's the successful system in Blizzard's eye. Maybe they're like, we got you with the limited talent system, basically. But I don't know.
Yeah, and you know, being a veteran player, I've played this game back when they had the original talent trees, and I remember when they took them out, I was pissed.
Yeah.
Oh, I hated that because I
After
loved my
Cataclysm?
I loved my old talent trees because, like you're saying, I got to try all these different options out. Now they weren't the best numbers wise, but I didn't care about that.
Right.
I was trying to find some cheese ball thing I could figure out, and maybe I'll find something cool. Maybe I won't. I'll end up going to the elitist jerks recommended spec anyway at some point. But the fact that I got the chance to fart around with it made it fun for me. And so I can see where, the get rid of this stupid conduit power balls thing. I can see where I can get on board with that, because there were times when I wanted to switch doing the corridors in Torghast, and I got caught because I switched too many times, and I was like, oh shit. I don't know if we're going to get through this one because I can't pick my guy here, my Dreamweaver, so.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So yeah, I get it. I'd like to see it go too, but it's not.
No.
It's staying around.
But you know what we're getting?
What are we getting?
New ranks of legendaries.
Ooh. And how do we get those? Are we going to be able to equip 2 of them?
No, not yet. That's still a potential in the future. They haven't said whether or not we will. It's just hypothetical, but I don't think it's going to be this patch. I feel like that's more of a last
like
tier thing.
Yeah. I hope they don't just let us have one more. I hope they do what they did in Legion and just be like, you know what? Fuck it. You guys just wear as many as you want.
Open it up.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, I didn't get to experience that, but it's kind of what they did with the corruption system when they finally gave the corruption vendor, and you were maxed out on your resist, and you could just go to town with corruption gear. Yeah, so it feels like the last tier is where they really open it up to just go to town.
Shenanigans.
Friends.
Yeah, all kinds of fun stuff like that.
Yeah. But it looks like the max rank's going to be rank 6, so we're going from rank 4 to rank 6. But it's going to be a different currency from 5 to get up to rank 5 and rank 6.
Mega Soul Ash.
Dun, dun, dun.
That's new currency.
Yeah.
It's not just normal Soul Ash, it's Mega. So it looks like you get Soul Cinders in the new layers of... We're also getting new layers of Torghast, by the way.
Yep.
New baddies. New visual arenas to go slay these baddies in. And we get Soul Cinders, which is cool.
Yep.
But, talking about Torghast, they're also changing kind of how it works. Since the Turdigrew, or whatever the hell his name is going to be a raid boss.
Yeah.
They're doing a whole new system. So that's going to be fun. It's going to be based on time. Yeah, based on a times, like a speed thing or a collection thing, I believe. Like you could, how much of the dungeon you do on your way towards finishing it will increase your score. So I'm pretty excited about that, actually. The only thing... Well, another thing, too. I think Ian said in that interview that we are also getting Soul Ash regardless, if I'm not mistaken. So even if you get like a 1 Jelly Bean run, you still get your Soul Ash, which is great.
Yeah.
But you won't be able to do the next level, I guess, if I heard that correctly. I think they were talking about making it performance-based instead of just beating the one layer, then going to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how I feel about that part, but...
Yeah, they had to do something with Soul, because Soul Ash will be still required to get if you want to make a new legendary, or if you level a new alt. Your rank 1 through 4 of the legendary is still going to require Soul Ash. But then from beyond that, you're going to use that new currency, the Senders. So it's I think they had to create a way to almost make sure you were still going to get your Soul Ash while trying harder stuff. Right. So you wouldn't fall so far behind on Soul Ash by, like, you know, it wouldn't be a negative incentive to go try layer 9 or 10. I'm like, no, I'm just going to stick to 8 because I've got some rank 4s to make still, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Like, you're still getting something, which is great. Because that's like the one complaint we had was we love Torghast. However, it fucking sucks not getting anything. Even if you go and clear up to the last boss like I did the first time in Twisting Corridors. We got to the final boss and died. It's like we just spent 3 hours in here and got nothing except a repair bill.
Exactly. And they kind of they had initially, or at least described it. I don't know if that was their design intention, but it does feel like they're trying to make it a roguelite type game within WoW. But it also has to fit in with the fact that WoW is a MMORPG, and the goal of an RPG is a static character in a sense, but you're progressing that character. A roguelite is similar, but you're not always going to get a reward from a rogue game if you lose a level early. Like, you know, you're kind of back to square one in a lot of ways. Yeah. So I think they did a good job, at least with this initial piece in 9.1. This could all change tomorrow, you know? This podcast could be just out the window. But
yeah, Speculation City right here.
Yeah. But it looks like a decent middle ground. I feel like they should increase the Soul Ash, because it's going to be a situation where I roll an alt in 9.1 fresh, and if I'm like a druid or a shaman where there's like, oh, if you want to play 2 specs, you need like 7 legendaries. You know, it's not going to be a good time for a lot of people if they're still getting the same amount of Soul Ash.
Right. Yeah.
Bump it up.
And I know that they, you know, with the renown increase, they're going to, like, as you get more renown, you're going to increase your anima gains.
Right.
They need, I think, anima should still be a reward in Torghast myself. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's not the most fun way to get anima. Actually, I take that back. I really have fun with Torghast. And if I got my anima through Torghast, I'd be excited about that, because I'm not a huge fan of doing the same world quest 300 times.
Sure.
So, but yeah, I think that would be cool if they somehow brought that in. Because, I mean, there's a bunch of shit you can get through your Covenant order halls or whatever you want to call them.
There's a lot of things to spend on anima right now.
Right. Yeah.
There's no way to get it all right now.
No. And I would love to get those appearances. I think they're cool. I want to get my, you know, stupid fox mount and my stupid butterfly backpacks. I want those, goddammit. But I need anima.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So, I don't know. It's not a bad thing. Like, I think it's I think it's good. But like you're saying, hopefully they can increase that, you know, the early legendary Soul Ash amounts, because I have my fresh shaman now. Yeah. That I'm at an M+, and hopefully con the dudes at Technically PvP to help me PvP a little bit.
I like it.
But yeah, I mean, I have to do all the work again. But since we're in the Great Lull, I can do that. So it works for me.
It does. Yeah.
Make the best out of it, right? Try to get a spider, too. Ooh. Maybe I can get that spider mount, too.
The honor one? Yeah.
Yeah.
I bet you can.
That'd look pretty cool on a spider.
Spider boy. Spider boy.
Watch the Tauren's too bulky.
No,
Oh, just
they
kidding.
fit right on it.
Oh, yeah. No, I love my High Mountain Tauren. He's awesome.
Yeah.
Good times, good times. Yeah, I'm excited for the Torghast update. I'm curious to see what kind of new traps the jailer has in store for us.
Definitely.
This is interesting.
Tell me.
So in the new raid, there's going to be a special bow and cloak drop off of Sylvanas. Now this is hunters only, so hunter fans out there, I hope you're excited for this. So the raid bow does a cool thing where it replaces your kill shot with a wailing arrow. Now this is according to the notes as of today.
Right.
Or 13 days ago on Wowhead. And then you get a raid quiver. So you're going to have a quiver cloak instead of like a normal cloak.
Mm-hmm.
Now this can be worn by all players, but the unique effect looks to only be usable by hunters. That's pretty awesome. And it looks like that has a special thing too, where every 5 shots triggers a withering fire. So it hits up to 5 enemies in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like a conal attack. That's pretty awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a callback to where they did have class-specific items.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be curious to see how they balance it, and if we're going to need to start recruiting hunters. But I like it.
Now I know I want to go and level my hunter and try to get this damn thing.
There you go.
Like, that sounds cool.
Blizzard was like, you know what? Not enough people play hunters.
Right? We need more.
We need more hunters.
Yeah. And not survival hunters, though. We don't want them. We want ones that use the bow.
Oh, that's even funnier. Oh, my poor survival boys. All 8 of you.
Sorry, survival
sorry.
hunters. Yeah. Maybe they'll bring back the range and tweak the class a little bit. Or that spec, anyway.
Mm-hmm.
I think they should go back to what it was back in the day. Like, you can make it melee friendly. It's like if something gets up on you. But, like, survival back in classic days, like, it was trap. Like, you had improved traps and you survived. That was the point. Like, it made you a little more, gave you some more HPs.
Mm-hmm. I always thought it'd be cool as, like, a, because I know Rexar is, like, the quintessential survival hunter, and he's very melee, dual-wielding, hand axes, but I always thought it would have been cool if they made it like a more like a Vol'jin or like a troll axe thrower from Warcraft 2.
Ooh, yeah, that'd be awesome.
Like a throwing weapon spec.
That would be awesome.
And then maybe that's the way that they would blend in a melee and ranged flavor almost.
Yeah, you can
like almost like Demon Hunter style movement, like in and out of combat. I don't know. Sounds like a lot of work.
It does. It sounds
Blizzard, I'm
badass,
available if you need design advice.
You gotta have the voice lines though from it.
Right.
Where they do like, "What you want to kill?" Is that what they
What
say?
you want me to kill?
Yeah.
Yeah. Das Dingo.
Oh, so good.
So good.
I want a Warcraft 2 remastered.
Do you though?
I do. I love Warcraft 2
remastered.
Yeah, I didn't play Warcraft 3 remastered, so Warcraft 3 in my world is still perfect.
It's glorious, and we won't. Yep. Same page.
All right. Yeah. I want a Warcraft 2 remastered.
That'd be pretty sweet.
And speaking of rates, the new rate tier sets are out too.
Mm-hmm. They're looking
And
pretty
they look
fancy.
Very pointy and very awesome.
Mm-hmm.
I saw the plate the plate looks badass, the cloth looks badass, and the mail looks badass.
Yeah.
So does the leather. I mean, it all looks badass. Like, I think the male looks like an evil ram, which I have a helmet that I think they're going to go for. Like, that is part of that set. At least it looks like it anyway.
Okay.
But if that's, I mean, it looks cool as shit. Like, I think it's awesome. Because the horns are, like, blood red.
Mm-hmm.
I think the mythic, like, skin is the best, obviously, because it's always the best. But
yeah.
But yeah, the male looks too legit to quit.
Yeah.
I'm liking it a lot. Now,
Well,
this
the
is
thing
the
is,
kind of
sometimes
shit
the-
I love.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, go ahead.
The
Sorry.
armor sets?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when you get a mean ass looking like armor set, like you ever see the movie Willow?
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, the main bad guy who's got the skull helmet?
Right.
I mean, when I was a kid, I was like, oh man, that guy's a badass. So if I can
Yeah.
make my characters look like him, I'm in, baby. I don't care what class I'm playing or if it makes sense. Like, if I can look like that,
Right.
hell yeah. Sign me up.
Yeah. No, that would be pretty sweet.
Yeah. I want it.
And it's not every raid gives you a cool looking mail set. Sometimes they get shortchanged.
Oh
Well,
man.
they make sure plate and cloth look pretty cool.
Yeah, they always look
Leather
cool.
sometimes kind of whatever.
Yeah.
But mail sometimes you're like, what were they doing?
Like the horned helmet from TBC.
Yeah.
Looked like a beetle head or something. What was that, TBC, or was that Wrath?
Uh,
I remember getting
one
it.
of
and
the
I was
hunter
like,
sets.
I think it is a hunter set, but I somehow got it on my enhanced shaman, and I was like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
I got a boner on my head.
Some of them are a little sketch, not gonna lie, but
Yeah.
no, all the sets I think they're very true to the Torghast flavor too. Like it looks
Right.
like you just ran in there, and just ripped off armor off a guard. You're like,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm infiltrating this place. This is mine.
See, and I love that, because the Nathria mail set makes zero sense to me.
Right.
It's got these big, giant shoulder pads with knives on them, and it's like, I don't see that. I don't know.
Yeah. I think they were trying to go with Revendreth flavor for those armors.
Which I'm totally in for, because the cloth looks like the old, those doctors from back in the Plague days.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's awesome.
Yeah. And the
But
leather's
it-
got little anima vials like on the sides of your legs, on your
Yeah.
like smock almost.
Yeah,
So it's almost like you're in there storing away anima.
it's pretty cool. And then the
Yeah.
mail just looks weird. I don't know. I don't know.
It's okay.
It's all right. We can't win them all, folks.
Nope.
Let's see here. What else do we got?
They've only done a couple raid tests so far, or they've only tested 2 bosses so far as of this release, but they both looked pretty interesting. And we'll probably go into a later episode more of the details of the raid bosses, but that first one lets you use anima powers.
Ooh.
And since the first bosses are always usually just kind of, easy into the raid bosses, it sounds pretty cool that they're going to bring that anima flavor in, but
Yeah.
not make it impact the entire raid, because that can
Right.
turn sideways real quick.
Oh my god. Yeah.
But just the first boss, just go in there just blasting. That sounds awesome.
That does sound awesome. Like after a full freaking corridors run, like you're going up to level 18 and it's the freaking first raid boss. Good night.
Yeah. Night night.
Yeah. It's like, let me just freaking lava burst you to death after I drop hero every time I use a totem, pretty much.
Right.
So my whole group gets going, and then let me improve the haste bonus on the hero.
Yeah.
So everyone's casting like faster than they can through the GCD, like it's just going. It's like everyone gets convoke at that point.
Exactly.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So no, I think that's going to be a pretty sick boss.
Yeah, that sounds really cool.
The
I'm
territory.
excited for the new raid too, to go in there, and I hope we figure out what's going on story wise too, because I'm excited for that.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched a Bellular video that blew my mind.
Yeah.
I don't want to go too far into it because I don't want to spoil anything if it's right, but man, it was one of those get your tinfoil hats on because it made sense.
And it's scary when it makes sense,
Yeah. Well, you hear those. You know how conspiracy theorists like to twist things around so it sounds like it's, oh, that's totally true. That could totally happen. Yeah. He was into it too. And just how he was talking, he was changing his voice, and he's like, and then we were totally doing that one thing for that one guy. Dun, dun, dun. And we all knew it was happening, but we did it anyway. No, it wasn't that dramatic, but you know what I mean.
I'm excited.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. I'm excited to see that.
I've been going through the dungeon journals, or the encounter journal, just looking at all the different abilities and the different bosses, and just kind of being like, well, this boss is probably in that room, and okay, this is probably how we'll handle this ability. It's just, I just love nerding out about all that strategy stuff. There's some really cool looking mechanics in this raid.
You know how I do it?
Just wing it, bro.
I walk into that room and I point my finger at the boss and just kind of mean mug it a little.
Uh-huh.
And then die repeatedly until I figure out what he's doing.
Do you drop some emotes?
Yeah. Brush up, fart loudly.
Yeah.
It's in my arsenal there.
Perfect. Yep. That's that's how you start a fight. That's the pull timer, really, right there. It's slash fart.
It's the pull my finger timer.
Yes.
See, for me, when I read the journals, it's hard for me to visualize what they're talking about.
Yeah.
It's here's this thing they're doing. It's okay. Well, what does that look like? What's the motion that this monster's doing at my face?
Uh-huh.
But, I will peruse in all seriousness, I do look at the journal, and then I kind of go, I don't know what that's even saying. I don't know, just go get killed a couple times and figure it out.
There's nothing wrong with that either. That's
no.
That's also a valid approach.
Yeah. It's, I have unlimited lives. Unless, for some reason, this is like that Rick and Morty episode where Rick figures out how to make the do-over button for Morty. I don't know if you saw that one. That's my own favorite shows.
Mm-hmm.
So good.
It's so good.
Here's some more controversy. Well, I don't know if it's controversial or not, but it's interesting.
We can make it controversial.
We can. There's going to be an official Mythic Plus scoring method. So
Yes.
people will see in-game, through the Blizzard UI, how terrible you are at Mythic Plus. Or how good. Either way. So you're going to have an official score on that. I think honestly, I know I get kind of fired up about that because I've had some bad experiences with some tryhards, but I think that's a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, I don't know if anyone's tried to ever build a pug, but you're taking your life in your own hands when you do that because you don't know what the hell these people are doing.
No.
And this is a great way to kind of show, okay, this person's at least been pulled through this key.
Right.
So they kind of know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
They at least completed it, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's kind of cool. I don't know. What do you think about that?
I think it's, it's not the first time that they have baked in an external add-on into the game. And Raider IO score is pretty ubiquitous with pug rating and pug in plus keys. Mm-hmm. And it's even a motivator, to compare. It's become the Mythic Plus scoreboard, It's WoW built in an arena scoreboard, so you don't necessarily need Arena Junkies ratings anymore from back in the day. You've got arena rating in game. From the gear score days, now you've got item level on your character sheet, so you're always aware of what your average item level is and what your is in bags. So you've got that comparison. So gear score kind of went by the wayside. People still ask for item level, but you don't need an add-on now, and so that they recognize that this is. They technically even put item level requirements on to get into dungeons.
Yep.
You have to be a certain item level to get into dungeons with the queues. So, they recognize that a certain amount of gear is required to complete some content.
Right.
Now players put their own requirements on that. So
Sure.
the easier it is to access that data and know where you stand and not have to know, oh, I need to go get this external add-on. I think that helps the bar get lifted for new players, and they can
Right.
kind of adapt to the kind of the community expectation, that social norm around the score. You always have the well, I shouldn't say you always do, but you have an option of saying, nay, I don't want to deal with that, and just doing your own thing and running dungeons with whoever you want to. Like, that's always an option. But the score in game, I think, creates more of an incentive, even with your friends, to be like, oh yeah, let's push for this score. This is fun. Like,
Right.
you know, like going to the arcade and playing that pinball machine, seeing if you could beat that high score. Like, there's kind of a fun aspect to that. Like, you like seeing big numbers. So I think it's
Yeah.
cool. I like the idea that they're trying to make tyrannical. Like, he even proposed maybe tyrannical, which is historically a week that people don't really like pushing keys, because tyrannical is harder to push higher keys than fortified is usually.
Right.
Because bosses tend to one-shot you at a certain tyrannical levels, whereas you can get through trash being harder with fortified weeks. So making tyrannical give more score, they notice, they're at least acknowledging, oh, people don't like tyrannical weeks. Maybe we give an incentive to push keys on tyrannical weeks. So now maybe it even changes the dynamic of what keys people are running every week instead of every other week.
Right. Which would be, I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, I think the problem with a lot of the Mythic Plus, and, you know, I joke around with the do you even IO, bro. I think it's just because you have those bad experiences. Being rejected sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I have AOTC. I know how to raid. I know what I'm doing in a group setting. I can take directions.
Mm-hmm.
I can't communicate that when I sign up for your M Plus group, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
what I hope they do with this M Plus scoring system is I hope they kind of take some of that into account. Because, like, right now, I think I have 2 timed over 10 keys on my Alliance main right now. That's it.
Yeah.
So you're going to look at my IO score and go, well, you did 2 10s, but that's literally it.
Sure.
Maybe you got dragged through, which I didn't, because I healed my ass off in those 2 10s. But, like, that's... You're not going to know that, right?
Right.
So I hope they kind of take some of the entire picture and kind of create like a quick browse resume almost of,
That
you know,
could be
yeah,
interesting.
here's my M Plus score. It sucks right now. I haven't done M Plus because I'm doing XYZ thing in the beginning of it when I should have been doing it. I was doing other things. Now I want to get into it late in the season, but I clearly haven't done anything, so now you think I'm an idiot because my Raider IO is like -12.
Yeah.
So I just hope they think about that kind of stuff, because that's the feeling you get when you sign up for a 2 and they're like, no, bro, you didn't IO hard enough. And it's like, well, I can't IO unless I do the 2.
Right.
Let me
No,
help you time
that
the
was
2.
when I was playing that Alliance Hunter in 8.3 on your server. It was very much a because at a certain level it doesn't show your IO on that app, and so I was just joining any key I could get into at that point, even if it was like a 2 or a 4, you know, whatever it was. I was joining keys just to keep increasing that score.
Right.
And so I don't know, one of the benefits of Raider IO, and it wouldn't necessarily address your issue, but it's more of like somebody returning to game and they don't have anything in that current season. You know, they're starting from scratch, but that doesn't show their capability as a player.
Right.
Like, Raider IO has the capability to, it shows people who use the app, it shows them your rating experience, it shows them your previous seasons. So, like, if you have a history of doing dungeons or keys at a certain level, like, it shows you a bigger picture than just, here's this number this season.
Yeah.
That's all you got to go off of.
Yeah, here you go. Here's my arena rating.
Right. So, I don't know. It's always interesting, and it can be controversial when they add a scoring system, because it is a rating on a player.
Right.
But we do live in a world where, like, even like top tier M plus runners, like top 5 world, get denied from pugs.
Oh, yeah.
Just, whether it's numbers or just, I mean, it's it's not even like players have to know who they are, but like the number system, even as it exists, is still flawed. Like you can have a huge number and still get denied from keys. It doesn't feel good.
No.
Like there is a lot of sitting and waiting, but I guess the alternative is going back to trade chat vanilla BC.
Right.
And just waiting.
Hoping that someone picks you up.
Right.
Well, and I think it's hard too, because back then you had, like, if you were a piece of shit and ninja'd things, like your reputation would go throughout the server of don't bring this person, they suck because they ninja everything.
True.
So I mean, there was at least, like, eventually you had that point of, you know, hey, I had these bad experiences or these good experiences with these people. So there was kind of that recognition thing. So I think that's kind of hard to do. And I get like the challenge of a Raider IO or even what Blizzard's trying to do to make this a great system, because you have like you have to take in a bunch of things into account, and you have all these servers to look at, and it's almost impossible. So I don't know how that is, like how you can paint the picture through this thing. But I know when Season 2 starts, my ass is getting into those M pluses earlier so I can build my score up so I don't have to worry about it too much. But I don't know. I think it's I think a lot of the things that I deal with personally as a player, like I'm good in the raid scene, but I'm also raiding with people I've been playing with for over 10 years.
Yeah.
So I'm comfortable with those people.
Sure.
You know, I have a hard time. If you get to know me in person, like I'm pretty close to how I am on the show, like in person. But it takes me a minute to warm up to people because I have those. I am an introvert, so it takes me a minute to kind of let myself feel comfortable around folks. So I think a lot of my issues with the M plus system, with Raider IO, for example, just comes from me knowing, like, okay, I don't know these people at all, so I'm just going to go on the defensive immediately and start talking shit about M+. Now, that's not fair to that, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah. And I know this, and, like, it's just me trying to deal with that shortcoming, I guess, and having that fear in place. So I hope Blizzard finds a way, long story short, bringing it back around, to let me communicate my experience in-game with those folks I'm trying to join without feeling like I am set up for failure before we even start.
Yeah.
I guess is kind of my concern with it, and where some of my anxieties come from.
Yeah,
If
it
that
looks
made
like
any
they're
sense at all.
they're trying to display a lot of data with this tooltip system and the scoring system, at least what they've data mined so far. So hopefully it gives a larger picture than just a single score.
Which is great.
Yeah.
Like, I hope they can somehow find a way to do that, because I don't do M plus because of that. Like, because of this whole measuring E-beans and all that stuff. I just don't do it. I need to look at it as an experience bar instead of a number. Maybe that's where I need to change my mode of thinking.
Yeah. Experience bar, it's almost like, or another way maybe is just it's a difficulty level in a video game, you know? It's,
right.
You're just turning that knob each, you know, a 16 key, a 17 key, or even like a jumping from a 9 to a 10 where they add the prideful affix or the seasonal affix, like almost like, and some of that's easier with a group that you do it regularly with. Sometimes it's just a pug experience that's, you know.
Right.
But it's just a difficulty knob, if you think about it that way. It's just like, okay, now it's time to step it up. We're going to do one more. We're going to do two more. So,
yeah, I mean, it's like Diablo and the Torment system.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Like, how high in the Torment system do you go? And it just takes doing it, practicing it, getting that gear, and then jumping to the next one.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's something that players like myself could really work on, just as far as like trying to improve their mindset when they go into scenarios like that. Sure. It's not like when you get rejected, it's not because you suck. It's because this person is looking at the score going like, dude, you got like 12 points. What the hell? and it's like, okay, then this other person comes in and they sign up for the same run, and they might have a decent score or a better score. So I think it's just trying to reframe it in your head, I guess. Is a good way to look at it.
Yeah. Not to belabor it too much, but just because somebody is asking for a high score does not mean that run is going to be successful, and does not mean that person who is running the group even has that score.
No.
So it is a numbers game. Just go into it. You're going to apply to a few groups. You'll get into one eventually. If you're not getting into the key level you want, maybe drop it down a couple and just work it up. Sometimes you'll get lucky and you'll find a group who wants to push keys, and if you guys make it through there, fine. You just found a group of 4 other people who you can add to BNet and run future keys with. So
yeah,
just get in there and do it.
Got to get in and do it. It's pulling that Band-Aid off, baby.
Whoop whoop.
So, well, cool. Well, there is one more thing I wanted to hit on before we get into our scrub moments here.
Let's do it.
Now, in the Tazavesh Mega Dungeon, with the wonderful brokers,
yes,
there is a pirate dragon in there that I hope they turn into a mount.
Yes.
Because how freaking sweet would that be if you can
so cool.
If you can ride a pirate dragon.
Yeah. No, it'd be amazing.
I mean, come on. Yeah, that's all I need to say. Like, it needs to happen.
Yes.
So,
please.
Ian, I know when you listen to our show, because we're on Bobby's payroll, he wants you to listen to this.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Please make that amount, because that would be amazing. It'll bring Bobby more dollars. Don't make me buy it out of the goddamn cash shop, though. I want to earn it through the game.
You just gave him an idea.
I know I did. Damn it.
Oh, damn.
Sorry, guys. Sorry, everyone. But man, that's a kick-ass idea for a boss. I love it.
Did you see its name?
Is it Time Cap and Hooktail?
It is.
Oh. Time Cap and Hook. That would be awesome if you could be a hunter and it was afraid of like your alligator pet. How cool would that be?
I think they need to take another week on this patch to make that happen.
Every time it like gets close to him, it fears the boss away from him. That'd be so awesome.
I love it.
Hell yeah. See? Blizz?
Yes.
Sign us up. We will do this all day. Making time cap and hook dragon mounts and boss encounters.
I love it.
Don't ask me to program that, but
no. You wouldn't want me to.
No. The code would be too pretty.
The cleanest
code. It's even notated. Look at that.
See these comments?
Oh, man. Well, hell yeah. Well, I mean, overall, 9.1 is going to be fun. I think this is going to be a beefy patch.
Mm-hmm.
I think as long as we're patient,
yes.
I think we're going to be rewarded. And I think that with the circumstances at play, I think us as a community just need to kind of take a breath, go outside. I mean, it's springtime now, so hopefully the weather's not too crazy where you're at. Unless you're in the southern hemisphere, then it's fall time, which is weird to me, but...
Yeah, what the hell?
I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think if you enjoy this game, enjoy it. Like, yes, there are things that are not perfect. It's not a perfect experience. Like, it's impossible to have the perfect experience, quote unquote.
Right.
But I think if we just have fun and, get through this time, it's just going to be better for us on the other side. So,
yep.
Yeah, so hang in there, folks. That's all I'm trying to say.
I agree. They even said it's not going to be a WOD drought. they're still gonna have the appropriate amount of patches. So
Yeah, it's just this one's going to be this expansion's going to be stretched out a little bit longer than the other ones.
Yep.
So go find those secrets, go hunt those mounts, or go do something else. I don't know. Do whatever you want.
Exactly. Yeah. Like we go enjoy some old content. Go get some transmogs you haven't gotten. You know.
Yeah. Come and play
take a
Classic
break.
WoW. Yeah.
Yeah. Classic WoW. Get ready for BC.
Yeah. Come play on Pagel. That's what we're playing
Pagel.
sometimes. But now I gotta do this Mythic Plus thing.
Yeah. See? Cy's got the opposite problem of y'all. He's got too much to do in game. So I don't want to hear it from any of you if there's nothing to do.
That's right. Cleaning up content, baby. Getting our money's worth.
Hell yeah.
Love it. Well, cool. Well, let's go. Let's jump into those scrub moments, shall we?
Indeed.
Let's see. I have one from last night, actually, that you you bore witness to,
I did.
which was pretty funny.
I did?
Yeah. Well, because all right, so I'm leveling my High Mountain Tauren, Shamalama Ding Dong, and you joined me on your Demon Hunter for
Yes.
some leveling dungeon runs.
Indeed.
And you helped me get to 59, which thank you very much, by the way.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it. But we were in, where were we at? We're fighting the butt hair guy. What the hell is his name? Vampire. Oh my god, I'm drawing a blank. Last boss
Talking
of
We were in Halls of Atonement.
Halls of Atonement. Yeah.
Yep.
So we pull the last boss. I'm thinking to myself, I should pop heroism. I spent the first 20 seconds of that fight looking for heroism. I actually opened up my dungeon, my spell book, looking for heroism. I checked my bars. I was doing everything except fighting the boss, trying to find heroism. And then we killed the boss, and I was like, oh shit, I'm on the Horde. It's not heroism, it's bloodlust. And it's right in the middle of my bars. Right next to my mana pot.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
So
So I don't have it keybound because I am known to accidentally hit it when you're not supposed to. But I forgot that the Horde has bloodlust.
yes.
That is such an Alliance thing for me to do. It was ridiculous. And then I whispered to you, I was like, dude, I totally forgot. Whoops.
It's okay. I was having too much fun tanking on that Demon Hunter. That's
Oh, you were killing
fun
it.
tank class.
Yeah, I was doing okay numbers-wise.
Yeah. I saw them lava bursts and them earthquakes.
Oh, yeah. And then I had, I lava burst, earthquaked, and then I did the magma totem.
Okay, yeah.
And then, another fun thing, if you don't know this, if you are leveling in doing dungeons, and let's say you do a Bastion dungeon, and you don't have a Covenant yet, you will get the Bastion abilities.
Okay.
So I was dropping Vesper totems in on top of that, too. So
Because you're doing the storyline, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm doing the storyline, so I didn't get to choose my Covenant yet. So whenever we did that, so I was like, you asked me for, I think we did Tyrannus Scythe.
Oh, yep.
You're like, you have any Night Fae? I was like, I don't know, I'm not a Night Fae. Then I start doing the Night Fae abilities.
It's like, that looks like a transfusion.
I was like, wait, I swear to God, I did not choose Night Fae.
This man is pranking me.
He's lying to me. How dare he?
That is awesome.
Yeah. So that's good stuff. So that was my scrap moment for this show.
I like it.
You have any fun ones?
So, it's more of a painful one than a fun one, but I finished leveling the mage and got him to 60, but then I was like, well, I can't really decide on my Covenant right now. I want to see what happens to mage with 9-1, so I'm just going to put him on pause for a bit. swap back to the shaman. I was like, oh well, my wind speaker's resurgence, which is the single target lava burst legendary for elemental. It's like, oh, this is still like a rank 1, and I'm sitting on plenty of soul ash. I could upgrade this to a rank 4 because I use this one and the earthquake one. I mean, those are really the two I use the most. So let's get those leveled up first.
Mm-hmm.
So hop on my long boy. Look over in the auction house, and I'm like, sorting the rune carvers, the white pieces for the legendaries, sorting them. Looking for those eye level 235 ones for rank 4.
Of course.
And scrolling down the list. And I don't really like the TSM UI for buying specific gear pieces like here. Just because if you don't know the search criteria, it's a little weird. So I'm looking through the list, though, and I'm like, okay, 235. Okay, here it is. Okay, greaves. Yep, those are feet. Oh, wow, they're a little pricey. Oh, they're like 150k.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, go ahead and buy them. Whatever. Go to the rune carver's room. Hop on. Start talking to him. Be like, hey man, I need you to upgrade these for me. Throw those greaves on there. These are pants. My wind speakers are boots.
Mm-hmm.
In my brain, I thought greaves. Those are feet. Nope. So I spent 150k.
Yeah.
On a mat I can't use. So.
I mean, that sounds like boots.
They sound like boots, right? Nope, they are not boots. They are pants. Greaves are pants, guys.
Oh boy.
Your lessons learned today. So
oh boy.
Threw those back on the auction house. I'm not sure if they resold for even close to what I bought them for. But always check what item you guys are buying. Always double check.
Always. Critical.
Boots were like 30k.
Oh my gosh.
Oopsie daisy.
Oops. That's so good.
Yeah.
That is painful. I've done that.
All our goblin friends out there are laughing at me.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone's just like, wow. I mean,
Wow.
it's bad enough
Can't
Cy
read.
forgot heroism is bloodlust on the Horde side.
Yeah.
But, I mean, everyone knows greaves are pants.
Right.
But no, I would have made that same mistake. And actually, I think I almost did make that same mistake.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, those are boots. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Diablo 2, and like Greaves,
Right?
like they're boots, right?
Yes.
What?
That's where...
Have I lost my mind?
Maybe.
Okay.
I think it's the COVID-ness.
Yeah. Just always double check, friends, which one you're buying.
Always.
Those aren't cheap on most realms.
Oh, man, that sucks, dude. That really sucks. Oh, boy. Well, I got another thing for us here.
Okay.
I posted a question a little too early or too late, whatever you want to call it, in this recording cycle, so
Sure.
I'm going to try to get better at this, but before every episode, I'm going to post a question that's close to what we're talking about on the show, on the Twitters. So, at ScrubsVerse. I posted today. What did I post? It was a question. Oh, what is one thing you're most excited about for 9.1? I can't believe I didn't remember that, but I got some responses. I'm going to read those responses right now.
Tell me.
So, at Smiting Titan, also known as Dracoris, he said he wants to see more of what's going on with Anduin. Or the Lich Kingduin, as I so lovingly called him. Yeah, I'd like to see that too. I'm very curious to see how this Anduin storyline unravels here. We have at Pandagosa, the same artiste that made our logo, which is still amazing, by the way. She's excited for the new zone and exploring it. As am I. We have guest from last show, the Wookiee BH, also known as Nick Z from the Torrent of the Goblin. He's looking forward to that raid cinematic that when it comes out, he needs to call out of work for the rest of the day because his mind is so blown. I like it.
I'm expecting epicness.
Yeah, I'm just going to do any cinematic at this point as an excuse to call out of work, but I like that. At Polar Bear Mount, or White Polar Bear Mount, sorry, also known as Caponis or Capo. He is excited for flying, which I am too.
Hell yeah. And
then our friend Jared, at Jared RPG from Merely a Setback podcast. He is excited for the expanded Soulbind system. He says it's looking mighty cool, especially as someone that plays a spec that needs every last scrap of power it can get just to stay afloat. So now I know Jared doesn't play Survival Hunter, but if I didn't know he didn't play Survival Hunter, I would guess he played Survival Hunter with this one.
It sounds very survival.
It does. So, sorry, Jared. No bow for you. It doesn't matter because he doesn't play that, but
right.
I like to imagine that.
Right.
And finally, from at Hilarious, like heal, like healer, Hilarious. He said it actually releasing, and I thought that was hilarious.
That's pretty good. I would like it to exist, please.
So I appreciate everyone for responding to those. We'll try to get those out. Let's see, we record usually on Tuesdays every other week or so. So I'll try to get something out like the week before once we figure out our topic. Then you can respond to us there, and we'll read off your responses. And another thing, too, some show business, the fun stuff here. If you folks can do Projali and I a solid and go to your podcasting app that you listen to the show on and give us a rating, preferably 5 stars, if you think we've earned it, of course. That would be amazing. It helps us out immensely. It gets more people in front of the show, gets more ear holes on it, and we're looking to expand the show and really grow it and make it cool and fun and as entertaining as possible. And that just helps. It just helps get us out there for more of our WoW friends to listen and grow the community. So if you could do that for us, that would be amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah, and thanks everyone for listening to us too. It's greatly appreciated. So, with that, I think we, as they say in the radio business, I think we hit the post.
Whose post?
I don't know. I don't know where the post is, but I think we hit it, whatever it is. I don't know.
Deal.
I don't know. I just made that up. If you say anything with confidence, friends, it's believable. So
I believed it.
Yeah. Yeah, that's the secret to success right there. All right. Well, with that, we bid you adieu.
Adios.